With the Spider-Man Far From Home trailer releasing yesterday, of course, there is a lot of questions. And the director himself has actually jumped on and broken down the trailer, but then also addressed numerous story points and key elements that will be appearing in the film. So full spoilers ahead for this. There are even some reveals for Avengers Endgame. And then again, like I say, some pretty much clear-cut confirmation of spoilers that will be in Spider-Man Far From Home. So sit back, enjoy, and let's break this trailer down as per the director. On the topic of how far in the future Spider-Man Far From Home is, he didn't say specifically. In fact, they say in the film, we don't say specifically how far after Avengers Endgame the movie is set, but the idea is that it's almost immediately after the events of Endgame. So, we get to see the neighborhood from the first movie dealing with the implications of all of the crazy fallout of Endgame. And, you know, in classic New York style, everyone is just moving on and getting on with their daily lives. You know, half the people that disappeared are now back, so let's move on. Now, Watts was asked directly, does the movie really introduce the Marvel multiverse? To which he replied, well, I mean, yeah. We had to look at it in terms of the scope of what happened at the end of Endgame, seeing all the crazy things that they did and all the questions that raises. So we're definitely trying to answer one of the big ones, alternate timelines. So many possibilities opened up at the end of Endgame, and Peter Parker is one of the few people on the ground dealing with them. And he was asked obviously to explain the rules of this new multiverse, to which he replied, I wouldn't dare, I'll let Nick Fury do that. So a few things here. This seems to put to bed that Mysterio is just lying. It seems that they absolutely are introducing the multiverse, which is a huge surprise. Maybe a missed opportunity, but I guess everyone is assuming that Mysterio is going to be a bad guy. And, you know, I like Jake Gyllenhaal, he's a great actor, so I would like to see him, if he's good in this, to keep returning. So for him to actually just be a straight-up villain, I don't know whether I like that or not. Maybe him being an alternate timeline human from, you know, a different reality or multiverse, whatever, is a good thing. I don't know yet, obviously we need to see the film, but it is interesting. And also as well, it seems to indicate that Nick Fury will be the one explaining the multiverse in the movie. I will say this. It does actually add a little bit more fuel to the fire that maybe Mysterio is the Sorcerer Supreme in an alternate timeline, because of course everything that's beaming out of his hands is very, very, very Doctor Strange. But it is interesting because of course, you know, we all just thought that it might have been a deceptive nature of the trailer, but no, they are actually introducing the multiverse. Great idea, but hey. And also Watts was asked directly, why is Nick Fury trying to recruit Spider-Man? To which Watts replied, well, that was what was very exciting to me, because this is a version of Nick Fury I don't think we've ever seen, which is a Nick Fury who was playing catch-up. He disappeared for 5 years, and the world changed dramatically in his absence. And here he is trying to put together a new team. Spider-Man and Mysterio are being recruited to tackle this threat of the Elementals. That's what Nick Fury does. But now things are crazier than usual. So hopefully we'll see a different side to Samuel L. Jackson's character in this movie. Should be good. I'm quite looking forward to seeing Nick Fury again. A lot of people are not best pleased because of course he lost his eye due to a cat in Captain Marvel. Yeah, I can agree with that. But hey, all the same, the movie looks good. Watts was then asked directly, who is Mysterio and what are the Elementals? To which he asked, in the film, it's similar to the trailer. He is introduced as a potential ally to fight off this elemental threat. They're both from the same sort of parallel dimension. So, kind of alluding to the fact that Mysterio may actually be a villain in the movie. You know, as he says that they're introduced as a potential ally. To me, that's ambiguous enough to indicate that they may have him turn, which could be good. Now, of course, Aunt May is back. Did she die in the snap? Did she disappear? And yes, she did. He's confirmed that she disappeared and came back. Now, of course, a major player in the world of Spider-Man is Kingpin. You know, Kingpin, along with Daredevil, they're major players in the Spider-Man universe normally. And he was asked, are the criminals in the trailer working for the Kingpin? To which Watts replied, well, I don't want to say too much, but I will say they're not specifically tied to Kingpin in this movie. But you do get to see what it's like now for Spider-Man to be a very confident and friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. I feel like he's got the neighborhood under control. So kind of alluding to it, but kind of not. I would love it if they could, but obviously you're talking about cross-studio rights there. You know, you're introducing a Netflix, Disney, Marvel character into a Sony, Marvel production of the Spider-Man. Not really making too much sense there. He was asked, is Miles Morales going to be introduced in the movie? Because, of course, we had kind of a tease for that, further down the line in the original Spider-Man Homecoming movie. Donald Glover's character hinted at his nephew Miles. So obviously it was a nod to Miles Morales. And he says that there is no Miles in this film, or at least not yet. But who knows? We edit these films down to the last second, so you never know. So that's surprising, but we're not going to get it. I highly doubt it. We will get Miles Morales in the future. And now that we've opened up this multiverse theory, you could definitely get Miles Morales in there. And also, you could also just get a Miles Morales that was around when Peter Parker disappeared, and he's old, and time has passed in these movies now. So there's no reason why not. Now, of course, in the trailer we see a large amount of the aftermath of Avengers Endgame, and Watts was asked how they deal with it, essentially. How do they address it? They say, I've always seen Spider-Man as the most relatable superhero for that reason. I used Peter Parker, Spider-Man, as an opportunity to get that ground level perspective, to show you what it would look like if all these crazy things had happened. What would day-to-day life be? If you were snapped away, you'd have to work backwards and retake your midterms. That was one of the most fun things, just talking through what the most mundane implications would be, like your birthday, on your driver's license or passport. It would say that you are 5 years older than you technically are. Those sorts of questions are just so fascinating to me, and I really wanted to get into the minutiae of it and really explore that. So, looks like we're going to be getting some very pedantic answers, exploring around the fallout of Endgame. Now, obviously, Happy Hogan is in the film, he's in the trailer. What's his role going to be in this movie? Because he seems to be, leading the charge with Stark's cash and being kind of a warden to Spider-Man, it seems. And again, Watts kind of confirms that by saying, similar to Peter, who lost his mentor in Tony, Happy has been there since the very beginning. I think a big part of this story is trying to find your place in the world if the center of your world is gone. I've always liked Happy as a character, and to use him to explore some of these things was really exciting. To explore a world without Tony, who was the man that created Iron Man. So it kind of sounds like they're just going to bumble around through the movie, and Happy Hogan will either take up more responsibility at Stark or not. I guess he's just going to be a mentor to Peter Parker, which is kind of cool. We also get confirmation that Keaton is actually not going to be in the movie as the Vulture, and also that Laura is not in the movie. Don't know why. Could be a misdirect, but we shall see. They were asked about the action set pieces and things like that, and say in terms of pure filmmaking level, I really wanted to turn up the action and make that huge. In the last movie, we kept things a little bit smaller, intentionally to remind people why they love Spider-Man. And without changing the tone, I wanted to keep that ground level relatability, but also turn up the level of action to create something really spectacular. I wanted to show people things that they've never seen before at the movies. I'd be surprised if that's what we get in Spider-Man. Looking at the trailer, we've seen these things before, but hey, I'll be keen to see it. If they do, then great. If not, then no. And then also, Watts kind of was very coy. He was asked, is there more to the movie than the trailers have let on? And he said that, for a trailer that has a lot of stuff in it, it's just really scratching the surface. Which is good, hopefully, for God's sake. Spoilers in trailers seems to happen all the time now, so hopefully this is the case. So there you go. That is a rundown of everything that the director Jon Watts was addressing about the trailer. Most of the questions that you would have had would have been answered now. So there you go. That's your trailer breakdown. Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts on this down below in the comment section. As always, if you are new here, please do hit that subscribe button. And to stay up to date on the world of pop culture and movie news, crush the bell notification icon. Guys, thanks so much for watching. I've been Mr. H. Take care.